What is up, guys? I am back with the Week 2 predictions of the NFL. The first week was kind of a crazy week. Certain things, certain outcomes, like the Chiefs and the Patriots, I don't think anybody expected that one to happen. Um, and then other games like the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston Texans. I didn't expect that one either. It was a good week. I think it was a little bit different compared to other first weeks. Not a lot of scoring, mostly field goals, it seemed. But let's get into these picks. So I will try and do this in 5 minutes again, like last week, and let's go. Okay, so Thursday, the Texans versus the Bengals. They both looked really bad last week. The Bengals looked probably like the worst I've ever seen them in my entire life. But Houston's line doesn't look that good, and it's kind of chaotic down there, of course, right now with the lasting effects of the hurricane and then just the quarterback situation. I like the Bengals in this one. I think they'll get back on track. I think the Texans have a good shot at winning too, but really the Bengals they're a pretty young team, and if Dalton can get the ball to his receivers instead of throwing 4 interceptions, then I think they'll be fine and they'll win, and that's what I think will happen. Um, for Sunday games, the Patriots versus the Saints is the first one. I think this is going to be a pretty offensive game. Patriots defense was pretty good last year, but now it's not as good. They lost Will Fork, I believe, and then Ninkovich on the line, and that's really hurt them. So I think that it's going to be high scoring, and I think the Patriots will win. They're a better team in my opinion, and the Saints, I have no clue what is going on with their running game. Like, is it Peterson, Ingram, or Kamara? They used all three backs almost completely equally in this in the Monday night game. Now the Bears versus the Buccaneers. I've got the Buccaneers winning this one. I think Chicago actually looked pretty good last week, but I'm not sure if their defense can actually hold back Tampa Bay's offense. They did an okay job with the Falcons' offense, but I think the Falcons have a kind of Super Bowl hangover. Right now, their defense is ranked 26th, and that's just based off of this last game, so that's not super accurate. They lost Kevin White, a big deal, and you see the new rising star in Cohen, but I don't think they're going to be that good, so I got the Buccaneers. Moving on to the Eagles versus the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to win that with all the momentum coming off the win. The Hunt looked great. The thing that hurts them is that Eric Berry is out for the season, I believe. I think it'll be a close game, good game to watch, but I think the Chiefs will take it away. Next game is the Vikings versus the Steelers, another great game. Vikings looked awesome on Monday night. I think the Steelers will win this one. The Vikings did look good, but the Steelers' offense also looked good. And the Steelers' defense, believe it or not, is full of people who can make plays. So I'm expecting them to win this one. Browns versus Ravens. Yeah, I think the Ravens are going to win. They astonished me. I picked them to win last week over the Bengals because they're more veteran. And they did. They won 20-0. Their defense was absolutely dominant. They were forcing Dalton to throw when he didn't want to. They got 4 interceptions from it, and I think 2 or 3 of them were in the red zone. And so, yeah, I think they're going to do the same thing to the Browns. So, Ravens in that one. Bills versus Panthers. The Bills are going to run the ball. We all know that. They don't really have a huge passing game. Tyrod Taylor's okay, but it's not big. I think the Panthers are solid on both sides of the ball. They had 4 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 2 passing touchdowns last week. It was their defense that really kept them in with the win. So I think the Panthers are going to win. They're home anyways. Cardinals versus Colts. These are 2 teams that I don't like that much. The Colts looked extremely bad, the worst out of every team. The Colts and Bengals are probably tied, but I think it may be closer without Johnson playing, David Johnson, but I still think the Cardinals are going to be able to win because Luck is out, and they are atrocious without Luck. So, yeah. Titans versus Jaguars. This one's another interesting game. Jags, they have a unbelievable defense, but the Titans actually have an offense. The Jaguars were going versus Houston, where they basically had no passing game and no rushing game. So I think this is going to be an interesting one to watch. I think the Titans will come out with a win just because of how they're a little bit more well-rounded than the Jaguars. The Jets versus Raiders. This honestly doesn't need an explanation. Raiders win. Dolphins versus Chargers. The Dolphins are coming off the bye week, or the hurricane movement week, and so I don't know. They're up in the air. They've got Cutler as their QB. Everything's kind of different right now. It kind of messed up their whole schedule, so I think the Chargers are going to win that one. They're putting up a good fight against Denver right now, I believe. So Chargers in that one. 49ers versus Seahawks. Another one that really doesn't need a lot of explanation. The Seahawks are at home. Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to win. Redskins versus Rams. The Rams were crazy. I think they're the biggest sleeper team this year. Their offense was so dominant, and their defense was too. Their D had 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and a safety versus Indianapolis, which isn't saying a lot, but that's crazy, and they're home again. So I think the Rams will win. Cowboys versus Broncos. This is a potential game of the week. I think the Cowboys are going to come out with a win, especially with Zeke playing. That whole confusing situation. Apparently, he's going to play the whole entire season now. So with him back, I think the Cowboys will they have such a good offense with him back. Really, I think it's whoever can force the turnovers and score in the red zone is going to win. And I think the Cowboys are the ones to do that. And then my game of the week is the Sunday night game with the Packers versus the Falcons, and they're both great teams. The defenses are dynamic, and the offenses are even more dynamic. So, as I said with the Cowboys-Broncos games, I think it's the defense that can force the most turnovers, which to me is going to be Atlanta, who's more young. They've got the home crowd behind them. The Packers are good, but I think the Falcons are going to come out with a win in that one. Lions versus Giants. This one is kind of an up. Well, it's up in the air. It's Monday Night Football. I think the Giants really sucked last week without Odell Beckham Jr. But if Odell Beckham Jr. plays, I think they have a solid shot at winning the game. So if he plays, I think the Giants win. If he doesn't, I think the Lions are going to take this game. But it's all up in the air based on that. I think he will play, so I'm going to take the Giants as my official one. Yeah, that is all of my picks for this week. Stats are still kind of up in the air for this season. It takes a couple weeks to solidify, so we'll see how that comes in. But I'll be doing another one next weekend, and I'll have my starts and sits coming out soon. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.